Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, let me read you two evaluations of the same speech. Evaluation A. Great speech. I really enjoyed it. Your delivery is good, and the content was interesting. You had nice gestures and good eye contact. To improve, maybe work on your vocal variety and add more pauses. Keep up the good work. Evaluation B. Your objective today was to use vocal variety to enhance your message. When you dropped to whispers saying, those were tigers, that volume change made us feel your fear. You also varied your pace. To elevate this, consider adding a dramatic pause right before she got up. That silence would amplify the power of that moment. Which evaluation would help you improve? The first is a generic evaluation, nice, safe, completely forgettable. The second is a gold standard evaluation, specific, objective based, actionable. Today, I'll show you how to transform your evaluations from a generic to gold with one simple shift. Evaluate the project objectives first, general speech quality second. You'll leave with a 70-30 framework, the PE method, and a template you can use at our very next meeting. Let's begin. When Toastmasters introduced pathways, it fundamentally changed how we should evaluate speeches. In the traditional program, every evaluator knew what to expect. Speech 1 was always the icebreaker. Speech 5 was always body language. But Pathways is competency-based. Every speaker is on a different path with specific customized objective. One speaker might be working on vocal variety and body language, another on using presentation software, a third on persuasive influence. Same meeting, completely different objectives. Here's the problem. Most evaluators still comment on content, delivery, structure, eye contact, gestures, all good things, but they're missing the key question. Are they telling the speaker if they achieve their learning objective? Imagine training for a marathon, then having someone evaluate your swimming technique. That's what happens when we ignore Pathways objectives. So here's the shift, the 70-30 framework. 70% of your evaluation addresses the Pathways objectives. 30% covers speech quality and impact. This keeps your evaluation aligned with what the speaker is actually trying to learn. Note the evaluation form. It's only 20% Pathways objectives, 80% everything else. And numbers don't explain how to improve. Why is the scale so precise? Drop the form. Instead, email your evaluation notes to the speaker. Every gold standard evaluation has 4 parts, delivered in about 2 to 3 minutes. Part 1, the opening, 15 seconds. Thank the speaker, state the project name and objective, 60 to 90 seconds. Address each objective specifically with evidence. Part 3, overall impact, 30 to 45 seconds. Comment on what resonated, overall impression. Part 4, the closing, 15 seconds. One key takeaway, encouragement, and back to General Evaluator. Now the secret sauce, how to evaluate each objective. I call this the P method. Yes, really. Point, evidence, effect. First, state the point, the specific objective. Your first objective was to select appropriate visual aids. Second, give evidence. What specifically did they do? You chose high quality photographs of the English countryside rather than text heavy slides. Third, explain the effect. How did this help? This kept our focus on your storytelling instead of reading bullet points. Point, evidence, effect. Simple, specific, powerful. Now let me show you the 4 most common evaluation mistakes and how to avoid them. Mistake 1, ignoring the objectives entirely. The biggest error. If you don't address what the speaker is trying to learn, your evaluation misses the mark. 6, always ask before the meeting. And what is your, after this project, and what are your objectives? Mistake 2, vague feedback. Good use of slides, nice vocal variety. 6, be specific with evidence. Your Melvin Hills slide appeared exactly as you said Melvin Hills. Perfect synchronization. Mistake 3, too many suggestions. Overwhelming the speaker with 10 things to improve. 6, maximum 1 to 2 suggestions per objective. 3 to 4 total for the entire speech. Mistake 4, personal preference masquerading as objective feedback. I don't like PowerPoint, so you should have used props instead. 6, if the objective was use presentation software, evaluate how they did it, not whether you prefer something else. Avoid these 4 mistakes and your evaluations will improve immediately. Here's a critical insight. The evaluator's job is to be a mirror, not a critic. You're reflecting back to the speaker. Here's what you tried to do. Here's what I observed. Here's how you do it even better. I call this the evaluator's paradox. Be specific enough to help them improve, but encouraging enough to motivate them to continue. Balance is everything. 2 quick scenarios you'll face if the objectives weren't met. Be honest, but constructive. Don't say, you didn't meet your objectives. Do say, your objective was to use vocal variety. I noticed you attempted this by emphasizing key words. To fully achieve this, consider also varying your pace. If the objectives were exceeded, celebrate it. You didn't just meet this objective, you mastered it. Then point them toward the next level. Here's your practical toolkit, starting now. Before the speech, ask the speaker, what's your Pathways project and what are your objectives? Write them down. During the speech, take notes on specific examples. How they address each objective. During your evaluation, state the project name and objectives. Use the P method for each objective, 1 to 2 suggestions per objective. Brief overall impact, end with encouragement. After evaluation, Email your organized notes to the speaker. They can't remember what you said. And is your handwriting easy to read? And here's the template to use immediately. Thank you. Name you were working on, project name, your objectives were listed. Your first objective was X. I noticed you need specific evidence. This effect, one suggestion, specific improvement. Your second objective was why you achieved this by evidence. To take this further, consider suggestion overall what resonated, you clear accomplished and are developing. Back to you, General Evaluator. Let me bring this full circle. At the beginning, I showed you two evaluations. Generic one said, great speech, and suggested work on vocal variety. The gold standard one identified the specific objective, gave concrete evidence, and provided an actionable suggestion tied directly to it. One evaluation made the speaker feel good. The other made the speaker better. That's what we're here for. Not just to feel good, but to get better. Use this 70-30 framework. 70% objectives, 30% overall impact. Use the P method, point, evidence, effect. Avoid the 4 common mistakes. Don't be vague, don't overwhelm, don't impose personal preferences. Your challenge at our next meeting, volunteer to evaluate a speaker. Before the meeting, ask them about their project and objectives. Use the template. Then ask yourself, did my evaluation help them grow in the specific skills they were working on? If the answer is yes, you've provided a gold standard evaluation. Evaluations aren't just feedback, they are coaching. When you evaluate a pathway speech, you're not just critiquing your performance, you're coaching a skill, you're guiding a journey, you're helping a fellow Toastmaster become the communicator and the leader they aspire to be. So the next time you evaluate the speech, remember, generic evaluations are easy. Gold standard evaluations take effort, but only gold standard evaluations transform speakers. Let's transform our club one evaluation at a time. Madam Toastmaster.